may the peace and blessing of Allah be upon His final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companions and all those who follow him until the day of judgment. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مر بقبرين فقال إنهما يعذبان وما يعذبان في كبير بلى إنه كبير أما أحدهما فكان يمشي بالنميمة وأما الآخر فكان لا يستتر من بوله. It was narrated by Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the Messenger of Allah passed by two graves. He passed by two graves and said, they are being punished. Basically, the inhabitants of the graves, they are being punished. And they're not being punished for anything great. On the contrary, it is great. One of them went about slandering, namima. And as for the other, he did not guard himself from urine. One of them is namima, slandering, backbiting, and the other one did not guard himself from urine. One. Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah says, the scholars, the ulama have said that the meaning of and they are not being punished for anything great is that it is not great according to their claim. While others have said that it means that would have been a great matter for them to have refrained from it. Allah Ta'ala alam. So here in this hadith, we learn that there is adab in the grave. So the door, what is the door towards the akhirah? What is the entrance where we transition from this dunya to the akhirah? You guys can answer. Huh? What is the door? Right, the opening of the grave. Once we put the body inside the grave, that's transitioning from dunya to akhirah, to the barzakh, right? It's transitioning. That says leaving this dunya. So when we're bidding farewell, we're bidding farewell and putting someone towards the entrance. Similar to when you're, taking your children to school and you leave them in the door and then you go, right? You just leave them and you take them. So here we learn that in the grave there is jaza and there is adab, that there is reward and there is punishment. And that's when someone dies, we say, Allah make his or her grave a garden from the gardens of paradise. Right? So here we learn that there is adab al-qabr, there is a punishment in the grave. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ taught us that after the Salat Ibrahimiyya, before you conclude the prayer, that you seek refuge. That you say, oh Allah, I seek refuge from you, from the fitna of this life, from the fitna of mahya wa mamat, the living and the fitna of living and dying, from the fitna of Masih Dajjal, from the punishment of the grave, adab al-qabr, and from adab al-jahannam. So you make these dua when you conclude the salah. You're making these du'as. So because you're always seeking help with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, so we learned that there is adab in qabr. The second point is that we know what are the causes. Here it gives us two causes. One is an-namima, which is slandering, right? Which is slandering. And the other one is not protecting oneself. And sometimes we become kind of, we lack in our safeguarding ourselves when we use the restroom, and we use one excuse, like for example, you're traveling and you would stop in a service area, and the toilet in the service area is filthy. Right? So what are you going to do? You have to use the restroom. And maybe there's no toilet paper. Sometimes that happens. And you forgot your whatever tools you have in the car, right? And sometimes it happens. Sometimes you forget, now you can't go back because it might be hard for you, right? So what do you do? And let's say it's just, because we number them, number 1, right? So what do? You have option. You either, this is why, it is better, and always with no excuse, to use the restroom sitting down. This is fadila, the best. But there are exceptions when there is necessity. And so Aisha radiallahu anha said, whoever says that the Prophet ﷺ relieved himself, urinated standing up, I'm going to be specific, standing up, that he has kadhib, he has lied. So Hudayfa radiallahu anhu in an authentic hadith says, Ra'aytu Rasulullah, I saw the Messenger of Allah in an area that was kind of garbage in the area, and he urinated standing up. Right? So it shows that butt is not like an open access that we just, out of negligence urinate standing up. Right? In our homes, no, that's not an excuse. Our home, we should maintain it. That's in our control. In our masajid, la yajuz, shouldn't. You shouldn't be, and this sometimes you see it in Ramadan. Sometimes, people are urinating standing up. The hadith, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. You have not attained complete faith until you love for others what you love for yourself. So we want to make sure that we take care of our restroom and our process. So therefore, in these places, we make sure that we urinate sitting down. So anyways, but this is important for us to remember. In case of a necessity, there is permissibility because it might cause you some hardship. But when there is no necessities, then you have no excuse, right? So this is the deen. The deen, if there's a hardship, I will conclude with this. There's a hardship, and there's a legal axiom, right? Al-mashaqqa tajlibu at-taysir. Hardship. Anytime there's a hardship, it necessitates ease. There's a hardship in making wudu, with proper requirements, you can make tayammum. There's a hardship of standing up, you can pray sitting down. There's a hardship that you have some kind of sickness that you can't sit down, you can pray lying down. Mashaqqa tajlibu at-taysir. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to always remember to make dua before ending the salah. We're seeking refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the fitna of the living, of the dying, fitna Masih al-Dajjal, fitna of the punishment of the grave, and the punishment of the hellfire. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with remembering to safeguard our tongues and safeguard ourselves from any impurities that will make our worship invalid and will also make us receive the punishment in the grave. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. Wa sallallahu wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sallam ajma'in. Wa akhir da'wana anil hamdulillahi